From the Monroe Athletic Complex in New Rochelle, New York, Monroe Mustangs men's basketball is live on the air. Tonight, the Mustangs take on the Baltimore City Community College Panthers. I'm Seth Cantor, here to guide you through it all. The Mustangs playing well, a 9-game winning streak, 18-5 overall. They're also 10-0 at home. Their leading scorer, Albert Vargas, averaging 13.8 points per game. Their last game, an 82-73 road win over Lackawanna in overtime. That was last Thursday. Stefano Falopa, 16 points, career-high 16 rebounds, his second double-double of the season. The team shot 83% from the line, going 20 of 24, and out-rebounded Lackawanna 47-34. The Panthers 10-10, a win over CCBC Dundalk on Saturday, 88-74. Monroe beat that team 97-93 in double overtime back on January 21st. They're led by head coach Montoya Wooten, and the leading scorer is Zach Smith, the sophomore, at 13.5 points per game. We'll step aside briefly. We'll have the Star-Spangled Banner, the starting lineups, and tip-off coming up on the Monroe Mustangs YouTube channel. So the starting lineups look like this for the Baltimore City Panthers, led by head coach Montoya Wooten, Efadi Lewis, joined by Zach Smith, Joshua Bryant, Blake Neverton, and Coot Deng. For the Monroe College Mustangs, a 5'10 sophomore guard, Albert Vargas, the team's leading scorer at 14 points per game or close to it. Zante Townsend, a 6'2 sophomore guard from Brentwood, New York, joined by Ryan Williams Jr., a forward, a 6'4 freshman. Hassan Washington, a 6'7 freshman forward, and Stefano Filippa, a 6'9 sophomore forward. So those are your starters. The Monroe Mustangs, led by head coach Jeff Brustad in his 21st season. He's joined on the bench by Patrick Dame, Jobsy Reyes, and Ernie D'Angelo. Monroe 18-5, 10-0 at home. Baltimore City 10-10, 5-5 on the road. Looks like a late scratch. Delahaye starting in place of Lewis. So Delahaye will jump it up for Baltimore City. For Monroe, it's Hassan Washington. As we are ready to roll here in New Rochelle. Jump ball goes to the Mustangs, and we have basketball here in Westchester County. Townsend guarded well as the Mustangs open up with the basketball. Opening moments here at the MAC. Filippa sends it up top to Vargas. Vargas drives the lane. Back of the rim, no. Offensive rebound. Mustangs up with it is Washington, and he lays it in. Hassan Washington averaging 8 points per game, the freshman forward, and the Mustangs out to a 2-0 lead. Chance of defense from the Mustangs bench. Baltimore City averaging 76 points per game, giving up 46. That's a 30-point differential. Deng putting it on the court. Guarded well on the perimeter. Shot clock at 10. As Zach Smith thought about it, takes it back. Panthers got to get moving. Shot clock at 2. Here's a three ball up and away. That's good. As Zach Smith connects from long range. And the Panthers lead the Mustangs by a score of 3-2. Just over a minute gone by here at the Monroe Athletic Complex. Pass intercepted. Turnover. Backdoor pass. Taken back by the Mustangs, however. Ball's out of bounds. And the Panthers get it. With a 3-2 lead, just over a minute gone by, we're in the first half. Baltimore City shooting 44%. Their opponents at 46% for the season. Half-court setup. It's Zach Smith at 13.5 points per game. Lost it, however. The Panthers got it back, however, the shot won't go. And here come the Mustangs. Albert Vargas at 5 assists per game, leading the team. Filippa up top. Pass to the left corner. It's Townsend. Filippa up with it short. Whistle stops play. As Filippa puts it in, it's a goaltend. And Monroe has a 4-3 lead. Baltimore City with the ball, shooting 31% for the season. Opponents at 31% as well. Deng has it. Steps up, jumper on the way. There's a brick. And Monroe with the ball. Moderate pace for the Mustangs, leading 4-3, 2 minutes deep. Pass zip to the left corner. Right quarter three ball. On its way. Bingo! Ryan Williams Jr. from downtown. And Monroe has a 7-3 lead. With nearly 2.5 minutes gone by in the first half. Whistle stops play. Baltimore City has the ball. 7-3, Monroe, their largest lead of the game. Opening moments, of course. There's a floater, won't go. And Monroe with the basketball. Outlet deflected, however, Monroe keeps it. Here's Vargas. Inside, as Washington unable to throw down the jam. And the Panthers cross midcourt. Pass deflected out of bounds. And the Panthers will keep it. We look at turnovers. The Panthers averaging 16 a game. Same for the Mustangs. Zach Smith shooting 39% from the floor and just 21% from three. Drives into the lane, and a foul as that shot can't go. Looks like the foul's on Albert Vargas, his first, team's first. As Zach Smith will go to the line. They changed the foul. It's on Zate Townsend, his first, excuse me. So Smith, 75% from the line. First free throw, cashed it in. 7-4, Monroe with the lead. Baltimore City as a team, 70%. Monroe, 70% as well. Looking to go 2 of 2. Bullseye, he does. (7-5) the score. Monroe the other way, can't convert. As the Panthers get the ball back. Here's a pass inside. Delahaye goes up with it, won't go. And the Mustangs look to push. Moderate pace. Vargas drives. Left wing. It's Williams Jr. back to Vargas. Fought about the three. Drives inside the layup. Drops in. 9-5 Monroe. 16:41 remaining in the opening half from New Rochelle. Fans continue to file in on an unseasonably warm night. Temperature was in the 50s today. It's only going to get warmer too. Dang has it into the teeth of the defense. Sends it to the right corner. Zach Smith putting it on the court. Jump pass goes to the left wing. Three ball up and away. Back iron. And the Mustangs look to push. Vargas has it. Cross-court pass. Falopa in the right corner. Sends a three towards the rim. Shot short. Offensive rebound. Washington lost it. Goes out of bounds. And the Mustangs keep it. With a 9-5 lead. 16:06 remaining in the opening half. Monroe with a team foul. Baltimore City with none. Falopa, mid-range jumper, left side, short. And a weak side rebound. Goes to the Panthers. They're averaging 29 rebounds per game, giving up 22. Dang has it. Here's a left arc three ball. Rolls off. And the Mustangs with the ball. Ryan Williams Jr. running. Here's the alley-oop pass. Thrown down! Hassan Washington, the freshman forward, averaging 8 points per game, slamming it home. And Monroe has an 11-5 lead with 15:26 remaining in the opening half. Timeout. We'll step aside on the Monroe Mustangs YouTube channel. Largest lead of the game for Monroe. They're up by 6, 11-5. 15:25 remaining in the opening half from New Rochelle. Monroe looking to go 19-5, playing great basketball. Chance of defense again from the Monroe bench. Pass inside, up with it was Neverton, couldn't get it to go. Ball out of bounds. Mustangs get it back. Mustangs averaging 83 points per game, giving up 71, shooting 47% from the floor, allowing 38%. Williams with the jumper. Off the front rim, no. And the Panthers with the ball. Largest deficit of the game for the Panthers. They trail 11-5. 14:56 remaining in the opening half. Dang has it. Strip taken by Monroe. Brian Williams Jr., the feed inside, goes to the right corner. 3 ball. That's good, but they're going to wave it off. Hassan Washington with the offensive foul, his first, team second. Devere Palmer Jr. comes in for the Mustangs. He replaces Hassan Washington. Panthers with the ball, trailing by 6. Pass inside, the layup, back of the rim, staying with it inside was Joshua Bryant. Ball out of bounds, and the Panthers get it back. Fonnie Lewis will bring it up, averaging 7 points per game. Now it's Zach Smith. Smith, the team's leading scorer, 13.5. Lewis, up high. Pass almost taken away. Lewis takes it back. Good defense by Monroe. Shot clock at 7. Panthers got to get moving. There's a steal. Monroe has it. Townsend goes to the left corner. Williams Jr. fires, puts it in. 3-pointer. Ryan Williams Jr. shooting 30% from downtown, and Monroe out to a 9-point lead, their largest of the game. Chance of defense once again from the Mustangs bench. Up and under. Layup drops in for Blake Neverton, averaging 13 points per night, the freshman from Baltimore. Contact, offensive foul. Fouls on Albert Vargas, his first, team's third. As Manuel Peral checks in for the Mustangs. 7-point game. Pass deflected. Monroe ball. Townsend drives. Tomahawk jam! Zate Townsend. And Monroe opens up a 16-7 lead with 13:07 remaining in the opening half. Smith has it, guarded well by Townsend. Smith, mid-range jumper, no. Rebound Monroe. Monroe a 16-7 lead. 12:46 remaining in the opening half. Layup, drops in. Devere Palmer Jr., 18-7 Monroe. Chance of defense from the Monroe bench continue. Largest lead of the game for the Mustangs. 12:27 remaining in the opening half. Dang to the right wing. Lewis back to Dang, puts it on the court, drives, floater, too strong. Philoppa rips it down. His pass almost taken away, deflected. However, Peral has it. Trying to get it across the midcourt line and does so. 11-point game, pass way out of bounds, intended for Ryan Williams Jr. That's a turnover for Monroe. Mustangs have 6 turnovers. Carlos Green into the game. Baltimore City with 4 turnovers. Bryant sends it back. Green fires. Off the front rim, won't go. Rebound. Stefano Philoppa has it, stripped and a foul. A little too much contact there. We'll see who this is on. Marquise Delahaye commits a foul, his first, team's first. 11:32 remaining opening half. Monroe 18, Baltimore City 7. Largest lead for the Mustangs. Peral has it up high. Mustangs keeping it around the perimeter, averaging 18 assists per game. Here's a three ball. Clangs it off the rim as Ryan Williams Jr. misfired. Baltimore City with the ball. Stripped, taken back. Peral has it. Now the outlet. Here's Ryan Williams Jr. Pass down the lane. Finger roll layup drops in. Zate Townsend averaging 7 points per game. Monroe out to its largest lead, 20-7. They're up by 13 with 10:50 remaining in the opening half as fans continue to file in to the Monroe Athletic Complex. Zach Smith putting it on the court. Sends it back. Blake Neverton has it. Guarded by Peral. Ball loose. Neverton sends it back to Smith. Smith into the lane. Jump pass goes to the corner. Ball loose as the shot clock expires. Monroe ball. Hassan Washington in for Monroe. Travel on Peral. 7 turnovers for the Mustangs. Delahaye will inbound. The Panthers at 10-10. 5-5 on the road, led by Coach Montoya Wooten. Here's a jumper at the foul line. Bank shot goes in. Marquise Delahaye. And the score, 29. Monroe with the lead. Peral has it between the rings. Right wing, it's Williams Jr. Monroe keeping it around the perimeter. Here's a jumper, top of the key. Clangs it as Williams misfired. Moderate pace for the Baltimore City Panthers. Delahaye, no look pass inside. The layup short. As Bryant couldn't get it to go. Whistle stops play. Second on Delahaye, team second. Looks like Albert Vargas checks back in along with Pedro Schulzman for Monroe. Monroe's largest lead was 13. They're up by 11 with 9:31 remaining in the opening half here in New Rochelle. Albert Vargas with the dribble, averaging 13.8 points per game, leading the team. His 4.9 assists lead Monroe too. Bounce pass inside, intercepted. Here come the Panthers. Moderate pace. Jam won't go down as Bryant couldn't get it to fall. Here's a three from the corner. Off the front rim, no. Offensive rebound, goes out of bounds. And it's the Panthers' ball. Eight turnovers for the Mustangs, 6 for the Panthers. Monroe shooting 53%, holding the Panthers to just 17%. Neverton has it, averaging 13 points per game. Get around the defender. Putting it on the floor and driving was Zach Smith at a foul. Looks like the foul's on Antonio Flickin. It's his first. 2 free throws coming up. Actually, the foul was on Pedro Schultman, excuse me. His first, team's fourth. Here comes the second. Bullseye. And Zach Smith converts. 20-10. Monroe with the lead. Albert Vargas has it, controlling the dribble, sends it to the left side. Devere Palmer Jr., and we've got a foul. Third team foul on Baltimore City. Albert Vargas has it. Skip pass inside. Washington back to Vargas. Monroe keeping it around the perimeter. It's Williams Jr. up and under the layup. Won't go. Monroe stays with it. Ball loose on the court. Washington has it. Now the ball's loose again and a travel. Nine turnovers for Monroe, with a 20-10 lead. 8:25 remaining in the first half. Carlos Green moves it out. Smith back to Green. A deep three ball. Converts. 20-13. Monroe's lead cut to 7. So a 6-0 run for Baltimore City. Washington muscling his way inside, lays it up short. Offensive rebound. Schultman sends it to the right arc. Three ball rolls off. Schultman flies in for the offensive board. Here's Vargas at the foul line. No look pass, driving, laying it up and in is Ryan Williams. 22-13. So that stops the 6-0 run. Monroe up by 9 with 7:23 remaining in the opening half. Ball deflected. It's out of bounds. Oh, Baltimore City keeps it. Deng to inbound. Green, Neverton. Baltimore City with 6 turnovers, Monroe with 9. Here's Deng on the right wing, puts it on the court. Good defense, though. Mid-range jumper, rolls off. As Bryant couldn't get it to fly. Monroe with the ball. Vargas sends it to the left corner. Putting it on the floor is Ryan Williams Jr. And the Panthers take it away. On the run, Monroe getting back on defense. Deng at a travel. Well, the Mustangs get it back. As Zate Townsend comes in. He replaces Williams. Vargas guarded by Green. He gets it across. 22-13, Monroe up by 9. 6:35 remaining in the first half. Palmer guarded well. Shot clock approaching 10. Vargas averaging 13.8 points per game, leading Monroe. Washington drives, finger roll, drops it in. Hassan Washington makes it a 24-13 game. Monroe up by 11. Out of bounds, Mustangs ball. Stefano Filippa comes in for the Mustangs. He replaces Devere Palmer Jr. Pedro Schultman stays in the game for Monroe. Oh, Falopa get it into Vargas, who's guarded by Lewis. Falopa gets it across the timeline. 6 minutes even remaining in the first half. Monroe 24. Panthers 13 as the layup won't go. Here come the Panthers. Chance of defense from the Monroe bench. Green has it. Guarded by Falopa into the teeth of the defense. Ball saved by Falopa, and the Mustangs take it on the run. Townsend drives. Finger roll. Bullseye. Zate Townsend. Timeout Panthers. So Monroe matches its largest lead of the game. 26-13, 5:34 remaining in the opening half. We'll step aside on the Monroe Mustangs YouTube channel. Out of a timeout, Baltimore City has already used 2. Monroe hasn't used any. No pressure in the backcourt as the Panthers will get it across. Lewis, right corner, Green. 3 ball off the front rim. Panthers reset. Down by 13, matching their largest deficit of the game. Ball loose on the court. Good defense, Monroe. Who's going to get it? Schuldman has it at a travel. Look at the fouls. 4 for Monroe, 3 for Baltimore City. Zach Smith will inbound. Lewis sends it to the right side for Green. Here's Smith tripped and a foul. Fouls on Schuldman, his second, team's 5th. 4:55 remaining in the first half. Long inbound. Green, who's guarded by Townsend. As the Panthers keep it around the perimeter. Deep 3 ball. In and out. Rebound for Albert Vargas, averaging 4.5 a game. Moderate pace for Monroe. Mustangs with a basket will take their largest lead of the game as Falopa lays it in. 28-13, 15-point game. 4:22 remaining in the first half here in New Rochelle. Green averaging 11 points per game. Here's a 3 ball from the corner. That's good. Blake Neverton connecting. It's 28-16. Monroe's lead down to 12 with 3:55 remaining in the first half. Panthers get the ball back. Smith recovers. And the Mustangs get it after the turnover. Oh, Falopa will inbound. Vargas pressured in the backcourt. Oh, Falopa sends it back to Vargas. 3:37 remaining. Ball out of bounds. Monroe has it. Mustangs 52%, holding Baltimore City to 21%. Vargas Steps up, long jumper off the back rim. No. Washington, the offensive rebound, stays with it, lays it up and in. Hassan Washington makes it a 30-16 game with 3:18 remaining in the first half. Monroe 2 of 7 from 3. Baltimore City 3 of 11. Smith has it. Pressured, sends it to the corner. And a foul as Neverton took it to the baseline. Fouls on Falopa, his first, team sixth. Next foul, the Panthers will be in the 1-and-1. Long inbound. Joshua Bryant hands it off to Smith. Green. As Baltimore City trails by 14. Turnaround jumper, back of the rim won't go, and the rebound from the Mustangs. Schuldman drives, sends it to the left corner. Here's a triple, clangs it off the rim as Townsend couldn't get it to go. Monroe, a 14-point lead, playing well in this first half. 2:29 remaining. Foul line pass. Here's a 3-ball. Bullseye. Blake Neverton. It's a 30-19 game with 2:16 remaining in the first half. Pass deflected. Taken by Baltimore City. Here's a drive and a foul. Zach Smith went up with it hard. 7th foul against Monroe. Fouls on DeVere Palmer Jr., his first, as mentioned, the team's 7th. Zach Smith to the line, 75% for the season. First of 2 coming. First one, you bet. Monroe hasn't been to the line. Baltimore City 4 of 5. Here comes the second. Bingo. 30-21, Monroe's lead down to 9 with 2:07 remaining in the first half. Schuldman sends it out. Vargas splits the defense. Falopa jams it in with the right hand. The big man throwing it down, Stefano Falopa. 32-21. Monroe up by 11. Here's a jumper, bounces around the rim, that goes in. Carlos Green connects. 32-23, a $1:40 remaining in the first half, and a foul called on the Panthers. Looks like Neverton, his first, team's 4th. Here's Vargas, steps up, 3-ball, bingo! 35-23, Monroe up by 12 with 1:20 remaining in the first half. Chance of defense from the Monroe bench. Here's a triple, way off. Vargas the ball. Approaching 1 minute remaining in the first half. Monroe playing well, up 35-23. Vargas controlling. Falopa has it. As Monroe setting up in its offense with 50 seconds left. Whistle stops play. Offensive foul on Falopa, his second. Team's 8th, however, it's an offensive foul, so it's a non-shooting foul. Isaiah Middleton checks into the game for the Mustangs. replacing Stefano Filippa. Monroe, their largest lead has been 15. That was a 28-13. Smith has it, trying to keep the dribble. Travel call. 11 turnovers for Baltimore City. Monroe has 14. 35-23 Mustangs. With 32.9 left in the first half. Pressure in the backcourt as Middleton gets it in. Now the pressure backs off. Vargas averaging 32 minutes per game, one of the Monroe starters tonight. 2-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Vargas guarded by Green. Now it's Palmer. Drives the lane. Reverse layup goes in. 37-23. 4 seconds remaining in the half. Here's a three ball. Way off. As Smith misfires, and that closes out the first half. In the first half, where Monroe led by as many as 15, they have a 14-point lead going into the locker room. 37-23. We'll step aside for an extended break. We'll come back with the statistics and the start of the second half on the Monroe Mustangs YouTube channel. In the first half, that saw Monroe lead by as many as 15. They have a 37-23 lead going into the second half. Seth Cantor with you from the Monroe Athletic Complex in New Rochelle, as you hear the band playing in the background. First half stats look like this. Monroe shooting 55%, holding Baltimore City to just 24% from the floor. From downtown, Monroe 33%, Baltimore City 29%. Monroe didn't take a trip to the line, as Baltimore City went 5 of 6 from the stripe, 83%. Mustangs out-rebounded their opponents 24-12 as we take a look at the first half scoring leaders. For Monroe, Ryan Williams Jr. and Hassan Washington each with 8. Zate Townsend with 6. Stefano Filippo with 6. For Baltimore City, Zach Smith had 8 points. Blake Neverton had 8. Carlos Green had 5. And Marquise Delahaye had 2. Leading rebounders, Hassan Washington with 6 for Monroe. Joshua Bryant with 5 for Baltimore City. Albert Vargas with 6 assists in the first half for the Mustangs. So Monroe looking for their 10th straight win, trying to go 11-0 at home. We'll see if they can do it here in the final 20 minutes in New Rochelle. We'll take one more break as we get set for the start of the second half on the Monroe Mustangs YouTube channel. So Delahaye will inbound to start the second half, as the Panthers will have the ball. Smith at 13.5 points per game, double teamed well. Pass deflected, taken by Monroe. Taken back by the Panthers, though. They have numbers. Here's a layup that rolls off, staying with it. Unable to convert, though, was Bryant. And the Mustangs with the ball. 20 seconds gone by. Monroe 37, Baltimore City 23. Here's Washington, forces his way inside and puts in the layup. 39-23, 16-point game. Monroe its largest lead of the night. Here's a triple, that goes down from the right corner. Kut Deng, 39-26, nearly a minute deep in the second half. Filippo has it into the teeth of the defense. Alley-oop pass thrown down by Washington. Oh, the Mustangs have had some terrific dunks tonight. Pass nobody home. Here comes Monroe, a 2-on-2. Layup drops in. Zate Townsend. Fouls on Bryant, his second. Team's first. So Carlos Green checks in for Baltimore City. All Monroe, 43-26, largest lead of the game. Free throw, bullseye. Townsend, 74%. Smith has it. Now it's Green. Back to Smith. 18-point Monroe lead. Shooting 59% tonight. Green thought about the triple. Shot clock at 10. Lost it. Here come the Mustangs. Townsend couldn't get it to go. We got a foul. Smith commits the foul, his first, team second. Townsend to the line for the Mustangs. He'll shoot 2. Free throw is good. And Fonnie Lewis checks in for Baltimore City. He replaces Carlos Green. Monroe, 2 of 2 from the line. 45-26. 19-point game. Second game. Largest lead of the night for the Mustangs. Neverton has it. Now it's Lewis. A minute 40 gone by in the second half. Lewis tries to force his way inside, up and under. Wild layup. And a foul is called. It's on Monroe. Foul's on Washington, his second, team's first. Monroe holding Baltimore City to 26% from the floor. 5 of 6 from the line is Baltimore City, as Lewis at 62% puts in the first one. $19-point game. Second free throw. In and out. Townsend has it. Lost it. And it's taken away by the Panthers. Smith, jump pass goes to the right wing. Bounce pass deflected and kicked. So it stays Panthers ball. Zach Smith has it. Guarded by Vargas. Gets around the screen. Opening moments in the second half as Neverton connects on the three. Blake Neverton, 37% from downtown. And it's a 16-point game, nearly 2.5 minutes deep in the second half. Filippo with the ball. Now it's Vargas. Vargas into the lane, sends it to the left wing. There's a three. In and out. Baltimore City the ball. Delahaye. There's a triple. Rolls off. As Neverton misfires. Moderate pace for Monroe. Washington jams it in with 2 hands. Looks like we have a technical foul. It's called on Washington. First personal, team second, as Zach Smith will shoot the technical free throws. 48-30, Monroe with the lead. So Smith at 75% free throw. Bullseye. So Washington out of the game. Coming in is Braquan, actually DeVere Palmer Jr. 48-31, Monroe up 17. Packed house here at the Monroe Athletic Complex. Second free throw, money. Oh, Carlos Green checks in for Baltimore City. He replaces Blake Neverton. 16-point game, nearly 3 minutes gone by in the second half. Monroe's had a terrific night. Delahaye, bounce pass, left corner, Green. 3-ball, clangs off the rim. Another opportunity. Here's a deep 3-ball by Delahaye off the front rim. No, and the offensive rebound tipped in. Lewis makes it a 14-point game. This one not over yet. 16:45 remaining in the second half. As Palmer muscled his way in and a foul call. Fouls on Lewis of Baltimore City, his first, team's third. So Ryan Williams Jr. will inbound. Monroe shooting 58%, holding Baltimore City to 28%. Vargas with the ball, skip pass, goes to the right corner. Williams floats it in. So Monroe extends its lead, 50-34, with 16:20 remaining in the second half. Deng. Now it's Lewis. Back to Deng, playing catch. Delahaye to the baseline. Forces his way inside. Ball loose on the court. Who's going to get it? Delahaye up with it, off the glass and in. (50-36) with 15:53 remaining in the second half. Here's Falopa, lays it up and puts it home. 52-36, 16-point game. 15:40 remaining in the second half. Ball fake. Here's a three from the corner. Short. Offensive rebound. Ball loose. Monroe has it. As Zach Smith misfired. Falopa. And now it's Vargas controlling the pace for the Mustangs. Nearly 5 minutes gone by in the second half. Monroe a 16-point lead. Touch pass, Falopa, low block, and a foul. It's on the Panthers. Fouls on Delahaye, his third, team's fourth. There's 2 fouls on Monroe. Vargas will inbound. And Monroe turns it over. Monroe with all of its timeouts left. Baltimore City with 4 left. Monroe up to 61%. Holding Baltimore City to 29%. Mustangs 3 of 10 from 3. Panthers 30%, 6 of 20. Smith up and under, a floater, rolls off the rim. Mustangs with the ball. Here's Williams on the break, into the lane, up and under, short. Right there is Palmer, and he puts it home. 54-36. Monroe up 18 with 14:27 left in the game. Here's a three, air ball. Contact underneath the basket. And we've got what seems to be a foul. Devere Palmer Jr. commits his second. Team's third. So Lewis will inbound. Monroe up 18. Fliggins, guarded by Townsend. Green. There's a drive inside, up and under. Bangs off the rim. As Falopa commits the foul, his third, team's fourth. And that will send Lewis to the line. 62% for Afani, the freshman from Brooklyn. Four fouls apiece. First free throw goes in. For Monroe, it's Hassan Washington checking in, replacing Stefano Falopa. $17-point game. As Lewis puts it up and puts it home. Mustangs with the ball. Backdoor pass, Washington. 16-point game, 54-38. A whistle stops play. Got a foul on Baltimore City. Looks like it's on Deng, his first. Team's fifth, as Hassan Washington goes to the line. So 54-38 the score, 13:57 remaining in the game. First free throw, no good. Second free throw for Washington. Cashes it in. 55-38 Monroe, up 17. It's been a solid night, 60% from the floor. Fliggins, jump pass to the right wing. It's Neverton, back to Fliggins, into the teeth of the defense, sends it to the left corner. Here's a triple, no good, and the rebound for Monroe. Mustangs get it across the timeline. Williams has it, sends it back to Vargas. Monroe's largest lead has been 20. They're up 17 if you're just joining us. Washington zips it into the lane, intercepted. Lewis, up and under, lays it up, rejected from behind. Long pass, Washington throws down the alley-oop pass to Williams, who slams it home. And Monroe up 19 with 13:01 remaining in the game. Here's a turnaround, the layup floats in on the other end. Lewis at a timeout. "30-second timeout, Baltimore City." We'll step aside on the Monroe Mustangs YouTube channel. It was a full timeout, not a 30. Hassan Washington, the leading scorer for Monroe, 15. Blake Neverton leading Baltimore City with 11. Monroe shooting 61%, holding Baltimore City to 29%. So Monroe with the ball, 17-point game. They've led by as many as 20. Trying to make it 10 straight wins. Vargas dishes inside. Washington throws it down. Hassan Washington, 59-40. Monroe up 19. Here's a jumper. That's good. Antonio Fliggins connects. 59-42. 12:30 remaining in the game. Monroe has all of its timeouts. Here's a bounce pass. Washington jams it in again. Hassan Washington continues to impress. And Monroe up 19, 61-42. Approaching the 12-minute mark in the second half. Fliggins into the lane. Sends it to the right corner. Nobody home. Intended for Deng. Mustangs ball. Zach Smith checks in for Baltimore City. Hassan Washington, a game-high 19 points. Has 6 rebounds to go along with it. Here's another alley-oop pass, jammed in again! It's the Hassan Washington show. And Monroe has its largest lead of the night, 21-63-42. 11:47 left in the game. Up and under Neverton, Wild can't convert. Here come the Mustangs. On the break, another alley-oop pass as Williams can't throw it down. Oh, the Mustangs putting on a show. Up and under the layup, blocked as Neverton couldn't get it to go, but the layup drops in. Zach Smith, tomahawk jam again! Ryan Williams! Largest lead of the game for Monroe. The Mustangs putting on a clinic, up 65-44. 11:07 remaining. On the break. Here's a 3-ball from the wing. That's no good. Ball loose. Panthers with it. Layup short. As the Mustangs lead by 21. We approach the halfway mark in the second half. Vargas into the King. Alley-oop pass. However, Washington was too far away to throw it down, and he puts in the layup. 67-44, 10:34 remaining in the game. The Mustangs take a full timeout. We'll step aside on the Monroe Mustangs YouTube channel. If you're just joining us, it's the Hassan Washington Show. Game high 25 points, has 7 rebounds. He's been terrific tonight. Monroe, its largest lead of the game, 23, 67-44, 10.5 minutes left. Green with it for the Panthers. Shot clock approaching 10. Here's a drive, sending it back. Long jumper on its way, that's good. Keith Henderson Jr., 67-46, halfway through the second half. Vargas swarmed at a timeout. 30-second timeout, Monroe. They have 4 left. Mustangs, 64%, holding Baltimore City to 31%. Mustangs at 27% from 3, Baltimore City 29%, Monroe 80% from the line, just 4 of 5. Baltimore City 10 of 12 from the stripe, 83%. Rebounds, a dominant advantage for Monroe, 34-17. Turnovers 19-16, Monroe with more than Baltimore City, but it hasn't been a factor. So the Mustangs will inbound in the forecourt. Vargas can't handle the pass. It's Lewis driving down the left side of the lane. The layup drops in. 67-48. Monroe up 19 with 9:45 remaining. Schuldman. Now it's Williams. Vargas control it. Schuldman has it. Monroe with the ball up 19 with 9.5 minutes remaining. Schuldman back to Vargas. Schuldman takes it. Right corner triple. Back of the rim won't go. And the rebound for Blake Neverton, averaging 5 boards per game. 9:16 remaining, second half. Long shot clanks off the rim. Monroe up 19, 67-48. Washington muscles his way inside, offensive foul. Fourth foul on Washington, 15th foul. Keith Henderson Jr. in for Baltimore City. Deng working on Falopa. Sends it back. It's Smith. Smith double teamed. Henderson has nothing inside. Sends it back to Smith. Shot clock at 10. Baltimore City down 19. Pass to the corner. Green fires and hits. Carlos Green, 34% from three. Oh, Monroe's lead down to 16, 67-51 with 8.5 remaining in the game. If you're just joining us, Monroe's largest lead, 23. Vargas floats it off the back of the rim, no, and a foul call. And Fonnie Lewis commits the foul, his second. Vargas will inbound. And 16 fouls on the Panthers. Falopa trying to get free, just outside the low block. Muscling his man. No look pass, Schuldman lays it up and in. Pedro Schuldman makes it an 18-point game. 7:52 remaining. No look bounce pass, Deng floats it in. 69-53, 16-point game with 7:41 remaining. And the Mustangs have led by as many as 23. Travel. Zate Townsend checks in for Jeff Brustad's team. Approaching the 7.5-minute mark. Monroe up big, 69-53. Terrific shooting night. Three from the corner, long. Ball loose, who's going to get it? Panthers have it. A long jumper from the corner as Lewis couldn't get it to go. Here come the Mustangs. Contact and a foul in the backcourt. Fouls on Afani Lewis, his third, team seventh. And we will have free throws. Should have free throws. And we will. We've got a 1-and-1 coming up. So Schuldman, 50%. Blake Neverton checks in for Baltimore City. He replaces Keith Henderson. First free throw, back of the rim. Rebound tips, who's going to get it? Baltimore City has it. All thrown out of bounds, though. And Monroe gets it back. "17 turnovers for Baltimore City, 22 for Monroe. Monroe is led by as many as 23 if you're just joining us. We approach the 7-minute mark in the second half. Vargas steps up for three, grazes the rim, ball out of bounds. Panthers get it back. Five fouls on Monroe, 7 for Baltimore City, 4 timeouts left for the Mustangs, 3 for the Panthers. Zach Smith with it, sends it to the left wing. Here's Green to the baseline, long jumper, side rim, ball loose. Mustangs get it back. %61% for Monroe, 33% for Baltimore City. So Vargas, after inbounding, takes it back across the midcourt line. Townsend, floater, Bullseye. 71-53, Monroe up 18. 6.5 left. Here's a deep triple. Bingo! Antonio Fliggins, just 8% from three-point range. It's a 15-point game with 6:14 left. Here's Filippo, lays it up and puts it home. Monroe on the break, 73-56. Monroe up 17 as we approach 6 minutes remaining. Well, Fliggins has it. Now it's Smith, up and under. Shot won't go, but a foul. Monroe in position for 10 wins in a row. Still got some work to do. 5:57 left as the foul was on Pedro Schuldman. His third, team sixth. Zach Smith at the line, 75%. First free throw goes in. Baltimore City, 11 out of 13 from the stripe, 85%. Here's number 2, Money. 15-point game with 5:57 left. Pressure in the backcourt. Schuldman gets it across the timeline. Here's the pass inside, the layup short as Middleton couldn't get it to go. Baltimore City the other way, down 15 with 5:43 remaining. Green from the corner, it's a 2, clangs it off the side rim. Filippo with the rebound. And the Mustangs go the other way. Up 15 points, they've led by as many as 23. 40-21, rebounding advantage for Monroe. Townsend, skip pass, over to Schuldman. Shot clock at 10. Townsend has it in front of the Monroe bench. Drives the layup off the glass. Nope, but a foul. No, Monroe to the line. Fouls on Zach Smith, his second, team's 8th. Townsend to the line. Monroe 4 of 6 from the stripe. First free throw goes in. Townsend coming off of a 15-point game at Lackawanna. Second free throw swirls in. 30-second timeout, Monroe. We'll keep it right here. So if you're just joining us, Monroe, they've led by as many as 23 in this game. The last Baltimore City lead was 3-2 at the 1904 mark in the first half. Hassan Washington, a game-high 25 points, has 7 rebounds. Zach Smith with 14, leading Baltimore City. Some other leading scorers from Monroe. Townsend with 15, Williams with 12, and Filippo with 10. Albert Vargas has 12 assists tonight for the Mustangs. Look at the fouls, 8 on Baltimore City, 6 in Monroe. 3 timeouts left for each squad. Oh, Lewis with the ball. Double teamed. Ball taken away by Monroe. Here come the Mustangs. Vargas to the block, sends it to Schuldman. Foul line jumper off the front rim, won't go. Whistle stops play, and is it out of bounds or do we have a foul? Looks like it's out of bounds. And the Panthers get the ball. Inside 5 minutes remaining, 75-58 Monroe. Smith to the low block, up and under, lays it up short, tries to stay with it. Stay right here, says the officials. We've got a foul. Sanfilippo his fourth, team seventh. Zach Smith to the line. He'll shoot 2 at 75%. Coming into the game, averaging 26 points per game over the last 2. It's a 1-1, not 2. Now the officials conferring. And it is 2. Smith coming off a game where he had a game-high 28 points against Dundalk. Free throw goes in. He was 8 of 12 from the floor, also had 4 steals. 16-point game, 75-59. Monroe with the lead. It's led by as many as 23. Here comes the second. Won't go. However, Monroe unable to handle it. They get it back, though. Vargas has it. Sprints across the timeline. Drives down the lane. On pass underneath to Filippo, who lays it in. 18-point game, 77-59. Smith sends it to the corner, and a foul on the Mustangs. Fouls on Middleton, his first, team's 8th. Oh, Zach Smith to the line with 4:27 left. First of 2 goes in. $17-point game with 4:27 left. Yes, sir. 16-point game. 77-61 Monroe. They've led by as many as 23. Townsend putting it on the court. Schuldman for 3. Back rim, no. Offensive rebound. Layup won't go, but a foul. And Monroe will go to the line. Fouls on Koot Deng for Baltimore City, his second, team's 9th. As DeVere Palmer Jr. will go to the line for 2. He's at 77%. Coming into the night, averaging 10.5 points per game over the last 2. First of 2. No good. Here comes number 2. Dead center. 78-61. 4:05 left. Green sends it out. Smith. Smith averaging 13.5 points per game. Green from the corner. Can't hit. And Monroe the ball. Mustangs have numbers. Here's Vargas. Scoop layup. Won't go, but no, a travel. Turnover. Mustangs. And the Panthers will get it back. 23 turnovers for Monroe, 19 for Baltimore City. 17-point game. Monroe with the lead. They've led by as many as 23 as the Panthers throw it out of bounds. Townsend gets it across, guarded by Green. Now it's Schulzman. He'll hand it off to Vargas. Vargas putting it on the court at the foul line. Nowhere to go. Schulzman to the low block. Throws it into Falopa. And a travel called. Monroe turns it over for the 24th time. So I have double technicals, one on Tavir Palmer Jr. for Monroe, the other on Smith for Baltimore City. Now they offset, no free throws. There's a jumper, off the rim, no, and Monroe with the ball. Vargas has nothing, threw it into traffic and a turnover. Panthers get it back. 3:04 left. Monroe a 17-point lead, 78-61. No pressure in the backcourt with 3 minutes to go. Lewis has it, zips it to the right wing. There's a three, that goes down. Blake Neverton, 37% three-point shooter, 78-64. Monroe up 14 with 2:43 left. Mustangs get through the pressure, ball out of bounds. Ball stays with the Mustangs. And Monroe will take a full timeout. The lead down to 14. It's not over yet with 2:39 to go in the game. We'll step aside on the Monroe Mustangs YouTube channel. Hassan Washington, a game-high 25 points for Monroe. As the Mustangs try to make it 10 in a row with 2:39 left in the game. Up and under, the layup won't go as Palmer can't put it down. Ball loose on the court. Who's going to get it? The Mustangs have it. Up 14 with 2:28 remaining. Both teams in the double bonus. Vargas skip pass. Was intercepted for a second, however, Mustangs took it back as Townsend couldn't get the layup to go. 2:13 left. Monroe a 14-point lead. Dang, fires a three. Air ball. It's out of bounds. Monroe gets it back. So Deng hears the jeers from the crowd. Monroe 58% from the floor. Baltimore City 33%. Mustangs just 3 of 14 from three. Baltimore City 32%. Rebounds, a commanding advantage for the Mustangs, 45-24. As Monroe has led by as many as 23. 2:01 left. Vargas gets it across the timeline. Townsend sends it across to Schuldman, putting it on the court. Double teamed on the baseline, moves it back. It's Townsend. Here's Vargas. Back to Filippa. Here's a skip past Schuldman. Reverse layup, floats in. 80-64. 90 seconds left. Monroe in position for 10 in a row, trying to make it 11-0 at home. There's a three from the arc, clangs off the front rim. And the Mustangs will slow it down. They get it across midcourt. Schuldman in the corner. Now Filippa has it. Now Monroe in position with 1:10 left. Playing terrific basketball under Jeff Brustad, the 21st year head coach. Filippa on the block. Turnaround jumper, puts it in and one. With 1:02 left, 82-64. Oh, Filippa try to complete the three-point play. He's at 71%. Cashes it in. Sam Johnson checks in for Baltimore City, along with Antonio Fliggins. 19-point lead. Fliggins, jump pass. It's Keith Henderson. Swatted away by DeVere Palmer Jr. 16 left on the shot clock. .44 seconds left. Fliggins steps up, puts in the three. It's actually Zach Smith, excuse me. 16-point game, 83-67, 40 seconds left. 9-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Got a foul. Fouls on Keith Henderson Jr., his first. Mustangs to the line for two. Townsend, first one, goes in. Swirled it in. You bet on the second one. 85-67, 18-point lead. Shot clock off. 25 seconds remaining. Fliggins, wild pass to Schuldman. And Monroe can just dribble it out. So the Mustangs come in a game where they led by as many as 23 points. Were in control from the first minute. They'll win their 10th game in a row. They'll go to 11-0 at home, 19-5 overall. And that will do it here in New Rochelle. The final score of the Mustangs, 85, Baltimore City 67, an 18-point win for Monroe. Baltimore City falls to 10-11. They drop to 5-6 on the road. As we'll wrap up with the final statistics before we say goodnight. Monroe 59% from the floor, holding Baltimore City to 33% from the field. Mustangs just 21% from downtown. Baltimore City 33% from beyond the arc. Monroe 77% from the line. Baltimore City 83% from the stripe. Game that Monroe led by as many as 23 points. They did have 26 turnovers. Baltimore City had 21. Rebounds, a commanding advantage for the Mustangs, 46-24. As we take a look at the leaders, Hassan Washington, a game-high 25 points. Zate Townsend, 17 for Monroe. Stefano Filippa with 15. Ryan Williams Jr. with 12. Zach Smith with 20 for Baltimore City. Blake Neverton with 14. And Fonnie Lewis with 9. Carlos Green with 8. Albert Vargas had 10 rebounds tonight, 14 assists for Monroe. That's once again the final score, 85-67 Monroe with the victory, winning 10 straight games. They go to 11-0 at home. Upcoming for Monroe next Thursday, second of a doubleheader against Lackawanna at 7 o'clock. The women will play at 5. We'll have both for you. Saturday, February 17th against Harcum College on the road at 3. Tuesday, February 20th at CC, or against CCBC Catonsville right here at 7 for Baltimore City. They'll play Cecil College on Saturday at 3 o'clock. We'd like to thank David Spiegel, our Athletic Communications Director, for everybody here at Monroe College. Seth Cantor saying thank you so much for tuning in. Good night from New Rochelle.